Hello everyone, Lily here, and today I want to talk about the problem with modded Phantom Forces, as you can see in the title. However, for transparency's sake, I would like to say a few things. I am stylist staff, although the only thing that I do is moderate the Phantom Forces subreddit, and I don't really have any authority beyond that, nor are my videos in any way, shape, or form a form of PR or a form of stylist-sponsored content. I make my videos on my own free will, and stylist doesn't make me do or say anything. I have also felt the way I feel about modded Phantom Forces long before I became a staff member, and I know that there will be certain people who think that stylist is using me and using my voice as a way to convey a message, but that is simply not the case. Now let's talk about modded Phantom Forces. Modded Phantom Forces isn't anything new, people have been trying to mod games for years, however it does seem like we're seeing more and more lately, and I do think there are some misconceptions about what the creators of the modded games are doing. Essentially what the modded Phantom Forces games do is they take a version of Phantom Forces, could be old or new, and they modify it in some particular way. You may have seen Trickshot Forces, a pretty popular version, which you can tell from the name of that version. Makes Phantom Forces more trickshot oriented. I believe that maybe there was like a bunch of different sniper rifles. I think there was like low gravity as well. So while that does sound cool and fun and all that, we do need to remember that the creators of these modded versions got a hold of the assets to mod the game in the first place without the permission of stylists. The assets used are stolen. Even though they maybe didn't go through and get the files themselves originally, they are using stolen files, and it would be one thing if these creators put in the time to create a completely new FPS game separate from Phantom Forces, but when they just steal the assets, that's where the problem is, and that's why we see the modded versions of Phantom Forces getting removed. You can totally just go off and make an FPS game where you have low gravity, a bunch of sniper rifles, and you make it super trick-shotty. Like, I don't see why they don't just do that. That would be a simple way to do it without blatantly copying someone else's work. Another thing too is that with a majority of the modded versions, there are in-game transactions with Robux. In a given game, the player would have the option to purchase maybe in-game credits to spend on other things, or other maybe cosmetic items, maybe you have guns that you can buy, whatever it may be. So not only are the creators of these games stealing assets, they are also profiting off of them too. They are profiting off of the hard work that someone else put into it, and I got a problem with that. That's pretty much just plagiarism when you really look at it. And Phantom Forces isn't the only game affected by this. I don't know how many people might remember, but not so long ago, Apocalypse Rising had a modded version, Arise, that did pretty much the same thing that these modded versions of Phantom Forces do, and I feel like these are pretty similar situations. Again, maybe if these creators were so inspired by Phantom Forces that they decided to make their own FPS game for trickshotting or whatever it may be, that would be fine, but stealing someone else's hard work is not. And it's not like it's impossible to get a game going on Roblox. Everyone starts from the bottom, but we have seen other FPS games compete with what Phantom Forces does. I don't really play them, so I don't know much of them off the top of my head, but there are other FPS games. I know Frey has been a popular one that has kind of emerged recently, but it is possible to create a quality game that is an FPS game without stealing assets from Phantom Forces. And these creators do know what they're doing as well. I understand that the modded versions might be fun to play, but when you look at it, there's no way that you can shape someone stealing another person's work into something that is acceptable. I know that people might look at the modded versions getting removed and try to paint Stylus as the bad guy, but like I said, the people making the modded versions of Phantom Forces know what they're doing. They understand that they are both stealing assets and breaking Roblox's terms of service, and I don't think that they should be treated as victims when they get their games removed, as they are just pretty much just breaking the rules. They know what they're doing. You'll see a lot of these are made by alternate accounts, It's not someone's main account, so they are aware of what they're doing and they understand that it's wrong. And I know that maybe some people might see me say this and think that I'm trying to fire shots at someone like Pokey, who has in the past and recently done modded Phantom Forces content, and I'm sure there are other YouTubers who do that as well. But even if Pokey plays it or not, it's still going to get removed and it still breaks the rules. If anything, YouTubers covering modded Phantom Forces makes them get deleted quicker. So Pokey can choose to play what he wants to play. If he wants to play modded Phantom Forces, he can do that. But that doesn't really make the modded Phantom Forces are still violating the rules and they are still wrong. They are still stealing assets. I think maybe it could be argued that Pokey is benefiting the creators of the modded Phantom Forces. Like Trickshot Forces, for example, they do have a larger following than some of the other modded Phantom Forces communities do, and maybe you could say, oh well, Pokey was doing that for them and Pokey is giving them profit, but I think that that's a little bit of a stretch, really. Like I said, these versions of modded Phantom Forces were probably going to get removed regardless of if someone played the game on their channel, regardless of how popular they are, they're still going to get removed. Anyways, these are just my thoughts. I know a lot of people like to play modded Phantom Forces, and I get that. The problem is with the people making it. Kind of like I said, I don't understand how you could look at these and try and make it into something that these people are doing good things. Like, they are literally just stealing assets and using them to make a profit for themselves. They're not really... What they're doing is wrong. So hopefully people can kind of understand what I'm getting at here. Like I said, I know that they're fun to play sometimes, and I understand that, but hopefully people can kind of look past their own feelings for playing the game, and just because you enjoyed it doesn't mean you can't look at that and recognize that the creators of modded Phantom Forces are doing bad things, and they are not good for the community, and they are stealing other people's assets. So let me know what you think. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.